Hey everybody, this is Wes from Tech Studios, and this is my first video in which I officially review a product. So I hope you like it, and if you do, please feel free to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. This is the ASUS ZenBook 13.3-inch model. It was released in 2016, and it has a Core M3 processor, 6Y30 to be exact, and the display is a 1080p IPS display. It has a slight matte finish, but for the most part it's somewhat glossy. And it has a 256 gigabyte solid state drive inside as well. So this laptop also comes with up to 12 hours of battery life. That's what it says on the Microsoft Store, but on the manufacturer's website it says up to 10 hours, and I think that just depends on the configuration. So on this side of the ZenBook, you have a USB 3.0, a USB-C connection, you have a mini HDMI, and a headphone jack. On the other side of the ZenBook, you have another USB 3 Type A and an SD card reader. You also have an indicator for the battery life, and then this light bulb, which I have no clue what it means. You also have your volume up and down here, as well as your power button. And I ended up picking up this laptop for about $500 on the Microsoft Store, as they're running a sale right now. And it would originally have been $750 when it was released, and it's going for about $600-ish right now if you can find it somewhere in this particular configuration. Now this is the steel or gray model, and as you can see, it's pretty much your standard dark gray, kind of like Apple's space gray on their iPhone. And the keyboard is pretty decent. It has a little bit of a mushy feel, but for the most part it can be pretty satisfying when typing. The trackpad has all the smart touch options where you can pinch to zoom, you can take 3 fingers and swipe to switch tabs or pages, and so it has a lot of those capabilities built into it. It is a 2-in-1 flip ultrabook, so it can go around into tablet mode like this with the keyboard on the back. And you know, some people might not like this, but the keyboard does deactivate when you flip it over, so you don't have to worry about accidentally pressing a key. Out of the box, this laptop comes with the Windows display setting set to 150%. Now that seemed to be quite a bit high in my experience, and it also caused some of the windows in different applications to have the text be blurred, and I am not a fan of blurry text, so I set the display scaling to 100%, so it was doing it natively, and that resolved all those issues. It does make the text on the screen a bit small, but for the most part this laptop is going to suit the moderate user's needs, the one who might be browsing the internet, having a few tabs open in Google Chrome, maybe doing some light Excel work. Of course, using Microsoft Word should be no problem. I've actually done some of that on here, and I bought this as a gift for my wife. She does a lot of writing, and she needed a new laptop, so I got this one for her, and I am quite happy with it, and more importantly, she's happy with it as well. One thing to note about the keyboard is the up, down, left, and right arrows are tiny, but at least there's no buttons around them that you can accidentally press. And the home, page up, page down, and end functions are actually mapped to those keys whenever you hold the function button, which is located in the bottom left-hand corner of the keyboard. I'm super excited about this laptop. We haven't had a new laptop for quite some time around here, and this one seems to fit the bill pretty well. It's built pretty well. It doesn't have too much flex in the screen. As far as the base goes, it's quite sturdy. It feels nice in the hands, and the laptop itself only weighs 2.8 pounds, which is quite light, and it's not as light as the MacBook, but it's still quite nice, quite light. and should serve our purposes quite well. The speakers on this particular model of laptop are located in the bottom front of the laptop, right underneath where you open the screen, and that it does come with Bang and Olufsen sound, which is pretty decent. It's nothing to write home about, but it is decent sound for a laptop in this particular form factor, and it'll suit my wife's needs perfectly. So one of the other issues I encountered when I first turned on this laptop was after logging in with a Microsoft account, I actually had to reset the computer before the touchscreen would be enabled. And so I was touching all sorts of stuff on the screen, nothing was happening. I was a bit concerned about that. So it seemed to be that that device just wasn't noticed by the computer when it was first turned on, and all it required was a restart in order for that device to be connected. That is one thing to be aware of if you do get this laptop, is you might have a couple, not issues really, but a couple things that you might need to just mess around with when you first get it. But at the price point, for the quality of the computer and the quality of the build, the design, and everything that you get with it, it's a great laptop. I'd say its only real weakness per se would be the fact that the M3 processor in it isn't extremely powerful, but it actually is more powerful than my old i5 third generation processor from my old laptop. So I give it a little bit of props there. It's right on par with that one. Like I said, it's the Intel Core M3 6Y30, and it's a Skylake mobile processor. Now let's take a look at some of that B-roll footage. Glamour shots. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I hope you'd help support me in what I'm doing with this channel, and I hope to take this channel far. So thanks for watching and have a great one. See you in the next video. Peace.